Welcome back, fellow armchair generals. This is Gamer 1745 with our continuing looking at how well Third Reich Events is working with Black Ice in the new version and some of the modifications we made on it. That is what this is. We will do a proper playthrough later on. We're probably not going to even get to the war. I don't know if we're going to get much out of 36 next week. I don't know. We'll see how we do. Rome-Berlin access. Okay, this is the TRE version of this. I hope I removed... This is one thing I'm going to have to see if we remove properly any Black Ice versions of this. I hope. But we will see. That's part of what we're testing here. This is now the, again, beginning of 1936. Bit of history lesson here. I think it's in January or February. I'd have to look to be sure. But right around there, Italy had been working on forming an alliance, an anti-Nazi alliance between Austria and Hungary and Italy. The Three Powers Pact, it was called. This was an anti-Nazi alliance. They signed it in Vienna, in Venice. Again, it was like January, February in 36. Okay, Hitler wants an alliance with Italy, with Mussolini. So this is the start of this path here going on. So this is not, I don't think, this is just taking down at this. Now, if you want to do a world conquest as Germany, or you want to conquer Italy as Germany, don't take this. But once you take this path, you're going down it, is the way TRE is coded. I don't think there's a back out path at this point. We're back to building more ships. So, and what, hello, Lewis Cipher. Yeah, I think Lucifer. Hello, Lucifer. How you doing there? Yes, I get that. That one I do get, Lewis Cipher. What do you guys think about treatment? Oh, well, I'm not going to go into that right now. I'm not going in. I don't have it. I can't say anything intelligent on it beyond what maybe I've heard in the news, and I may be right and I may be wrong, and the news may be right and the news may be wrong. But some of that stuff I was just talking about, I know I'm right with. And again, notice I wasn't making super hard declarative, this will save you or won't save you. It was just what is. Okay, we're having too much descent, even though we are slowly knocking it down. So what we're going to do is we're going to come here, and we're going to pump it up a little bit more to push that down fast. I just want to do that. And we're going to... it's because I know... No, that's way too big. Okay, come on. Well, just... yeah, about there maybe. Okay, we want to do that. And we're still going... I want to build most of my industry in 36 and starting in 37. And then, like I say, sort of in 37 is start moving over to... well, because we know we'll need that eventually. We'll be moving over to more production of units and aircraft and things like that. Okay. Well, I think that's as much as I want to spread all this out right now. So we'll move him to the top, but we're going to move these ships to the bottom. Well, I guess the aircraft too at the moment. Okay, so we'll have some divisions starting to get developed, I guess, right now. How are we doing with steel? Okay, so with all of the various effects, including the 4-year plan, we are starting to have good levels of steel come in. How are we doing for rare? Not terribly bad, and that is down a bit. How's our money? Okay, well, we need to build our money up before we start buying more oil. Can you help in testing? Not really at this point. I'm needing to see, I've made a couple of notes already of what I want to change. Some of it is just getting rid of overly expensive metal use that I did, that is no longer well balanced with the rest of the black ice and things. So I'm very happy to change that. Because it was meant to sort of be played with black ice. And whatnot. And so there isn't enough other stuff to do, and once I release it, and I've been talking to Revolver Held a little bit, he's waiting on me because his came out first. Both of ours are very popular. Most of the players, we can either help give some money and whatnot to Spain, or not. Canaris, this is Canara, Admiral Canaris is head of that, going to I'm going to be an advisor briefly in Spain, if you will. Not long term. That wasn't like staying long term, just going and having a visit and talking to the nationalists and helping with a few things. And that's all that is. Okay, defensive positions, Great War analysis. Okay. Hey, we were in this Great War. How did that work out? Okay, we're going to keep that going. Yes, we will create more infantry divisions. I'm doing the full divisions. You can just do the headquarters if you want to build them out yourself. And so, and people don't want a choice because they're both, because his stuff. The only thing I don't like is, is for these units here. He does literal like bright pink for the base color and some other very German color shocking things, and makes it a little too German for me. So hopefully it will still be broken out. German graphical augmentations broken out from German gameplay augmentations. I'm all for the gameplay, and most of us don't want to choose between them. So, yeah, whichever one is technically more popular really doesn't matter. But so they need to be made to play together. And how much are we? Okay, we're pushing that down moderately fast. Yeah, okay. So he's waiting on me to get. I already sent him an earlier copy, but I made some more changes. Okay, small warship armament. Oh, that's grayed out. Okay, I guess. Yeah, which frees up there. So since sort of things, he's basing his sort of come in order of who's built on top of who, and because I've quite honestly insisted on not requiring another mod to be on mine, he's graciously not fighting that. So he has to wait for me to give him something, because if nothing else, there are common files I can't show you right now without jeopardizing the game a little bit, that we all have to play with. And so he takes what my common files are and then modifies them. Some of it's just adding stuff to it. So he needs to look and see what I do. And so once he gets that done, then he can do some hopefully fairly light amount of work, compatibility work, and then I think more or less, not maybe like simultaneously as instantaneously or the exact same day, but very soon after each other, once that's ready, we're going to be releasing versions of the mods, and then you guys can get in and play faster than I'm going to maybe play it, and tell me if there's any crashes, especially and identifying if there's a crash, what event or something that may have caused it. I mean, not just, I had your mod and the game crashed. Thank you. Yeah, that doesn't really help. But if you this event happened, I clicked yes or no or something like that, and the event and it crashed, and then we could see whose event it was, whether it's mine, his, or Black Ice or somebody else, what's causing it. So crashes, of course, and of course, because I'm not going to play all the way through to whatever, my goal is 36, to just see what's going on. And I have looked past 36 to reduce some of the steel costs, metal costs, whatever you want to call it. So if you find other events that are popping up that seem unusually large amounts of metal, a battleship, a lot of metal, a concrete monument, a little metal, so, but if I've overused it and need to reduce it, I'd like to hear. So that kind of stuff. Yeah, I'll let you know, Exurgent, and I will, it'll be out there. I will want feedback. And right now I'm going to save this. Save game. And I want to test something out just in case that we have a problem here. Okay. I was having a problem, and when I had to hover over one of these, and I didn't know which one because it was crashing and I wasn't paying close attention, it was crashing. So we're no longer getting a crash here so far. Not over this part of it, but over to look at the effects. Now, and I don't know that I need to change anything as it is now. I would prefer to change Pact of Steel, or actually the Tripartite Pact, a little bit, but we'll see. I don't know. But so far, no crash here. No crash here. All resource shortage, tank production, build speed. Okay. Well, here we can see what this is going on. Vickers cemented armor does not have modifier trade deal. Canada does not have modifier trade deal. Does not control provenance member. Does not control axis. Okay. All of the below. Okay. Okay, so this will go away if I'm reading this right. If the Axis controls some provinces. Okay, so it doesn't have to be the ammunition production resource is new to me. Metal minus 10%. Okay, well, that's not nice, but and part of this is to encourage the trade deals, but I've removed the trade deals, as you can tell from the game. So I've succeeded in getting rid of that. But they should come back and not need the trade deals once we get Nordhausen province not full. I don't know. Zinc. We have zinc. I don't know what else is here that we need to have for this resource-wise. I don't know. It's not always clear the way that is. Yeah. Yeah, I've gotten rid of the trade deals. Simply by there's an event or a decision that pops up early on, here. Is it still? Can we see it grayed out here? Sometimes they hang around grayed out. No, I don't see it here right now. And it says, oh, you click this, add this modifier, and then if you have this this effect, then these other things happen. I just went and changed that, so that all the stuff is still there, but it just doesn't ever show up anymore. Yeah, you don't want to tell a modder, oh no, we because I was asking for a bit of a change with it, not necessarily get how to get rid of it, or can we just change it? Oh no, we're not changing it. Okay, piss off a modder, he'll just go in and mod it himself. So that's basically what happened. Okay. Trade agreement with money for rare materials from. Nope, we're trying to build up our money. Small warship engine has advanced. Nice. I think though we are okay. That is grayed out because of things we don't have extra. Research. Okay, and no. So trade deals are gone. I gave earlier on, and I have a special episode. Those of you watching now, if you weren't watching in the beginning, I have a special episode coming out of all sort of the economics and talk, and it's a non-playing episode while I talk about all of that going on and an economic lessons for those who don't understand economics, which is different than business. Business is different than economics. They're related to each other most assuredly, but they're not the same thing. Meaning you can have a business guy who runs great businesses but doesn't understand greater economics. And you can have a person who understands greater economics that can't run a business. They're two different things, related, like I say, but different. Okay. Okay. Mountain warfare equipment. We'll do that. Research. Okay, we have 101 percent of officers. You want to have a large, why did I click here? I don't know. Because I'm just used to clicking here. A large overburden of officers, but we don't need that now. And we still have a few years to develop that. So we're going to come down here. Not go too radical, but reduce that down. And we have more than 100 spies, and we have plenty of diplomats. We're also, okay, let's lock down officers. Let's reduce, and we haven't been doing spying. We'll do some spying. I normally like to do some spying, but it just, combination of this isn't a real game, just a testing thing. It hasn't been a focus. Anti-air ammunition, yes, I see that, but let's do some other 1937 technologies. So let's start airframe research for a single engine, Aero engines. Okay. Yeah, we can do 4-engine transport plane, get that so we can build those. Don't know how much 4-engine research we're really going to pursue, and we can do a teeny bit more. Yeah, we'll do close air support prototype. Airmail via Zeppelin to South America helps our relations down there. No, no, no. Oh, we were going to do some spying, so let's do, well, our own country. Let's pop that. Counter-espionage up. Yeah, we could do, well, national unity is 100%. We don't need to raise that up. Let's look at politics. Okay, we can increase ours. Oh, pause. So let's do ruling party support a bit. There we go. Now, if we start to see a significant drop in spies, we will then maybe start putting more in there. Let's go with United Kingdom. They may have naval techs or something we can steal. And where is tech espionage? We'll focus on that. See what we can do. Japan. Okay, that's a small enough amount. I'm still trying to build this up. Now this is just barely in a negative again because we have put more factories online. And we will be doing even more, as you can see here coming on. But we are starting now. There was a problem that they did for a while. The reason they put sort of max limits before massive economic hits here, and I'm just testing out to see if I hit them, is that if you just build, say, factories all the way till 1940, then you can speed build before the end of 41 so many divisions. And it just becomes Germany's super state, and it's ridiculous. So I agree totally with not allowing it to be ridiculous. The earliest versions were just maybe a little too restrictive. Okay, well, that isn't much money. We're down. Okay, combined artillery, that's here. Okay, well, we'll let this go. We'll get to the combined arms in a moment when we get something else coming off of decline. No, we are not trying to push up more expenditures. We're trying to gain. We're going to let this go a little bit. It's a little bit in the deficit for now, obviously, the rare materials. Okay, the anti-Comintern Pact, which the idea was originally started and floated by the Hungarians, HoI3, as an anti-Soviet, though they did not come into the first round of it. They, for some reason, backed out of it. I don't know whether it was Japan coming in and Japan's behavior or something, but this is basically going to be signed originally by Japan and Germany. That is them signing it. There's Ribbentrop. I forget what the Japanese guy's name was who signed it. There's a medal that Japan struck. You can tell the swastika's not so good in that, but it was a period medal. And okay, so it will bring us closer to Japan. And I picked states that were, because we're getting closer to Japan, it's things like China, which upsets China, but also the Spanish Republic. And is Peru there? No, but the Spanish Republic and the USSR are not terribly happy by this, by us doing it. So before we sign, before the Soviet Union becomes more upset with us, can we like get a trade deal going? Oh no, no, they don't want to do that. They'll probably still sell to us, but they're not going to buy already. Okay, so we'll do this. And again, if you don't want to be allied with Japan, don't go down this path. I don't know if you can keep Japan from getting America into the war or not, but restrictions, a Bank of IS settlement. Yeah, well, we still have the Bank of International Settlements able to happen. That wasn't removed from the game. And there is a way that if it does throw you over the limit, what can happen, what you can do is, now if you go in and mod it, you have to start over again because the files are saved in the save game, unless no one's ever created a good editor. But you can come into here and drop down from war economy down to full mobilization, because it's the modified ICs, not the absolute ICs, if I'm not mistaken. So that is measured. So you could drop down to full mobilization. That drops you by 15%, or you can come down. This is another 15% change to a consumer products oriented thing, which you can do that. So, and so I'm going to watch 38 and 39, because I looked at the code and I forget exactly what the limits were, are the same year or same total. So you really, if you're bumping up against it already, but it's 36, 37, and 38 each have, you can get more and more ICs without bumping up against it each year. And so, but if you do go over it, ordering the aircraft carrier craft Zeppelin, yeah, we'll do that. Metal 1500, yeah, we have plenty of metal for that. And this again should be another thing that uses lots of metal. And part of the choices, do you want to do a Navy or not? We're just starting production, and yes, we'll build the air bases. The air bases are worth it because yeah, there you do have there is a cost to these, but it's cheaper than building the actual air bases. So we'll put them up there. Oh well, that, what the hell? That seems awfully good. Put it up to the top. We'll see if it modifies, because some of the things may, once these go, it may modify back down, but we'll watch that. It used to be 400, 450, and 500. Yeah, that's what it could be. I forget what it was when I was looking at the file. I don't know that we're going to go out of 436, and we'll do some in 37 and 38. Like I say, I agree with the concept. It's better to spam early. Historically, it would grow more slowly than maybe what we're rushing right now in 36. Oh, because it used to be a heavy cruiser. Okay, okay, I really don't know the Gross Zeppelin story. Okay, returning manpower back to the pool. Good. After you building the air bases. Direct fire unit training, which is pushing that too far forward, I gather. No, what is, oh, rolling artillery barrages. Again, some won't pop up because they affect too many units, and it just, if it goes too many units, it won't pop up onto the screen. Okay, well, let's look more at Air Force. We'll do fighter bomber prototypes. Improve that. There we go. Okay, have you got CAG in production for the CV? No, not yet. We'll see if we get this, because it, this is, okay, see now it's dropped all the way down to here. So yeah, we're going to move this out of production. We'll just keep that. It's more micromanage headaches, but it's worth the ICs here. And it's at 23 ICs. Yeah, we're not going to continue this right now. Because it's now jumped to September 38. Pushing through in a short time period, the practicals adjusted, is, you know, that. So it's good to have it there, and that you may need it. Okay, 140. Okay, so we have enough coal and enough steel, I think, for most of our growth. Only a little bit down there. No, because I want to get to well over 1,000. The Schwartz Corp, that's an SS newspaper. Oh, the Seidlitz, I guess is maybe how you. Yeah, so someday we'll produce a CAG for the aircraft carrier. But I'm in no rush at this moment. I know they are a long-term build, but still. Oh, to the Prinz Eugen. Okay. We would give them money for rare materials. No, I want to go like, I'd like about 2,000, but at least I want to get to, you know, 12, 1,500, something like that before I really start doing that. And I'm willing to take these minor hits for a while to get there. Yeah, and those kind of things I was a little bit worried about. Give them money now. I want to keep growing, keep growing. No. Okay, we're gonna go we'll wait a little bit. That must be some hell of a fortress hex for them not to take it. Okay, now we're down to that. Okay, okay, our supplies are plenty good enough, so we're going to significantly reduce that down. It's going to put much of the other stuff. Okay, we can keep the Admiral Hipper in production once it gets there. There we go. Yep, here we come, 1937. Mentioning that, we're going to do another save, just in case things go pear-shaped once the year comes around. There's a lot of things that happen at the start of the year, so I want to look at that. Okay, so that's doing good, that's doing well. I don't care what Chile wants. The US, we give them money for rare materials. No. They wanted to buy from me, I'd sell. Supplies, fuel, something like that. Well, in this playthrough, we're probably not going to get that far because it's still just a testing playthrough. But I wouldn't mind getting, say, Spain and Portugal into the Axis. Turkey, I think, is coded not to come into the Axis. I know Switzerland won't, but I've come to the opinion that you should invade Switzerland because that frees up a lot of Italian troops that they'll just stick on the border. It's a sort of a shame. You can invade it to conquer it or invade it to puppet. Maybe Iran, Afghanistan, Tibet, or something in some of my playthroughs later in the game. Into the Axis or into the war. Those are two different things for me. Sherplunk Doctrine has advanced. Okay, that's one of these down here. Okay, 38, so we'll stop that. Because we're still just doing direct fire command and control. Still just going to do 37. Okay, we'll continue those. And Japan's lost that agreement. Okay, well, we're going to come here and do combined arms. And get that going. Oh, Portugal's hard-coded now? Why would they do such a thing? I don't know about that. The plan to convert to sodas only came up in 42. Oh, how interesting, IKB. I did not know that. Well, I didn't know, I guess that. And hello, little Dabs, I guess is how you pronounce that. Okay, acrylic cockpit bubble. Bubble. Learn how to speak. Air systems or something, I think. Oh, here. We can now do. But we're not going to do that now because it's way too early. Well, I don't know that I mean, they had a long-standing, traditional, ancient sort of, if you will, somewhat ancient alliance between Portugal and Britain, I would say. Salazar hated Hitler and the Nazis, that's for sure. And Salazar hated the Japanese, that's for sure. But hate doesn't, he actually writes an anti-Hitler book and publishes it. Hate doesn't mean you don't come into alliance with people. Hell, Hitler hated Stalin, and they had an alliance for a while. I would see Portugal coming into the Axis if Spain comes into the Axis. I could see that. And I'm not saying it would have to happen or automatically happen. Yeah, but they also had conflicts after or between 1224. I know, what is it, Catherine of Braganza or whatever marries somebody. Yeah, not quite that, long standing, but definitely goes back to clearly the, in a sort of a modern sense, to the Napoleonic Wars and the British rebuilding the Portuguese military during the Peninsula War and such. But in a more modern, actual sense. Cruiser fire control advanced. No, better get to the cruisers. Okay, well, I think we have better text to do. Cancel that. Not that we won't come back to that, but let's see what other 37. Yeah, like a 1,000-kilogram bomb. 1573, yeah. Yeah, I know there's a long... Yeah, but I'm talking in a more substantial than just some sort of out alliance between Scotland and France. Yeah, that sort of vaguely kind of exists. But I don't know that those treaties are still considered in effect to this day. I'm not arguing against the historical elements of that. I'm just going in a more relative, more concrete way. I don't see that as a major reason one way or another. I see it much more as Salazar himself being, because he was a nationalist. The Novo State or whatever, unlike in Brazil, which uses the same name, which is a bit more of a fascist party, he is more of a nationalist, I would say. Oh, yes, it is. It is enforced today. Okay. Interesting. I didn't know that that still was valid. And, sort of modern realism, I would say, is this is twice now Switzerland has stolen German blueprints. First time was before yes, you can have fuel. Before I started recording. IG Farben plant. The IG Farben plant of Ludwigshafen used large amounts of coal to produce various synthetic material, including oil. Should we build this facility? So if we build the plant, energy, metal, supplies, draining our coal reserves somewhat, and regain rares extraction, because they were also doing synthetic rubber, I believe, at this plant. I don't remember from all my research, but it was something like that. Okay, so yeah, we will do this. 1 crude oil Ludwigs. Now, can we find that? Do any people know Germany well enough to know where that is? East, west, north, south. Oh, that wouldn't be it. We're going to throw on another. Maybe not there. Here, though, we'll throw another oil. Hello, Rhineland. Okay, thank you. Hello, Ulrich. 1888, Rhineland. Oh, here? No? Aachen. Down on the border. Okay. It should have an oil thing there. It's going to enhance it a little bit more. Saarbrücken, Bitburg, yeah. The one above. God, you're lagging. Okay. Ludwigshafen. Let's see if we can find this. Here we are. Okay. There we are. That's good. Right here. Okay, so that will give us that. I'm just going to enhance it with one oil rig. I'm not going to overinvest in it, but we'll increase our oil production a little bit there. Because trust me, I don't know that I'm going to get defeating the Soviet Union fast enough that might run out of oil. So this could become critical. Okay, the first of the year, economic boost, annual espionage focuses. Okay, here. The first year, because you didn't have enough time to do it to get to one, you wanted to do short term. Second year, you want to do long term, even though it's going to cost you 5% ICs. You want to do that because that will allow you to do one of these giant infrastructure projects, which we will see here. Yeah, it's one of these. We already have national highways. I give that as part of TRE. That's just, you know, the Autobahns. I figure Germany should already have it. They were still continuing to expand the Autobahn. I guess technically almost to the end, but yeah, largely up until the war starts. But so mining, railroad tycoon, and industry, you don't have a chance to get industrial farm or collective farms because that's only for the Soviets. So you only need 3 years of this long term because, you know, for 37, 38, and 39, then you can go back to short term. So you can get mining, railroad, and agricultural industry. Probably mining would be the next best. Probably oil. Yeah, oil and energy, 10%. And then railroad tycoon, and probably finally agricultural industry. That is just a English on their way during the Crusades took the siege of Lisbon as they were en route by ship. Okay. Can you hear me shouting? I'm lagging. Not entirely hear you shouting, but a bit. So we want to do long term for these 3 years. Annual espionage focus right now still just that 1% IC production efficiency. Later on we can look at some of the other spying. I don't really find it all that useful though. Okay, so we got that. And now we can do annual national focus. And again, still I suggest, and I'm going to do Reich economics. Later on, once we get more into the war, we very well may be doing some of these other ones, which will help, either national manpower or, various build speeds and whatnot. Or maybe the other thing, of course, would and could be, though it doesn't affect oil, which is one of the more critical ones, obviously, that for Germany, and rare materials, that's also a possibility. But we're going to do Reich economics now, and we're going to do again long term, because manufacturing boost, yeah, if you're late in the war, 1945 or something, you just need that extra supplies, fine. But it's gone after a year. Where these we'll get 3 regular industries and 3 heavy industries. Don't worry about that lose. It would have to be a negative number for it to actually not happen there. So Berlin and Dusseldorf will get more heavy industries here. And so those will be good. Arno or anybody out, any of my mods, can they allow Exergen's comments? For some reason, Trafalgar is tagged. By any chance, is Arno or Ari still here? Please, so I don't have to tab. I'll tab out of this. It doesn't either like Trafalgar, the battle, or the place. Calling on any moderator still around. I guess you've abandoned me. It's fine if you abandon me. I just wish you'd say you have to go. I don't know why it doesn't like Trafalgar. Okay. What event was that? Camouflage design. Yeah, we're not going to continue pursuing that at this moment. Oh, well, maybe it's anti-Spanish. Maybe that's what they're worried about more than French. Because it's all right in America to beat up on the French. You just can't beat up on Spanish people. Oh, wow. All my moderators left. Okay. You can make me a mod. I will make you a mod some other time. Remind me. I would happy to have you as a mod, AKB. And if Exergen's going to be around a lot, I'll make him a moderator too if you want that job. And then you can auto-approve your own. Thanks. I know Exergen well enough to do that. He just hasn't been on a lot of live chats. And I really don't want to. I'll tab out of it. Well, I'll read it. Okay. This was against the Moors for one of the first kings of Portugal, and in return, in 1805, at the Battle of Trafalgar, which is what it's highlighted here as being, I guess, the offensive word, the Portuguese scouted the French and the Spanish joint fleet for that links 1373 to 1805. Okay, cool. You got it read. I don't know why it highlighted Trafalgar. I don't know. You have a moderator's sword. It says auto mod. Allow or deny for me in this chat if I were to scroll up and want to get out of this, but I don't want to. Because I also just don't want to have to restart after the first of the month right now in the first year. So I don't know. Maybe it's timed out, but you should be able to see that. I don't know what the hell. I have it, to keep out really bad words, but I may need to adjust some of that. I don't know. Okay. Sorry, Twitch is stupid, but only half as stupid as YouTube. Okay. Direct fire combined arms. No, you're not causing trouble. It's just the BS of this stuff. National recruiting policy, yes. I prefer the balanced approach. Wonder why Trafalgar got. Maybe you didn't capitalize it? Maybe they're just upset with lack of capitalization? I don't know. Because I know it's like Trafalgar or something like that, and it's a Arabic word if I'm not mistaken. Okay, steel armor casting capability has advanced. Nice. And we will stop that for now. We'll do all these late in 37. Air launch torpedoes, yes, we want to do that one. And Die Kraftfahrt Kampf Truppen. Basically, this is a magazine. I think it was put out monthly, and you can see some the inside shots that was talking about early motorization. Ah, it's holding the capitalized too. Allow or deny. Don't know if you can allow that now, Arno, but because it's auto mod held for reasons. Didn't for oh, it's the E. Because when IKB did it with the A, it liked it. Maybe it's a misspelling. I don't know how you spell Trafalgar. Maybe with an E it means something different. No, we're just going to conquer you and take your... Okay, well, we're getting enough now to start worrying about some of this. Okay, we need more rare materials. So we're going to come here. Yeah, now that's coming through. No, it's Trafalgar, and I think the A is right, but I don't remember the spelling of that 100%. Okay, they have a lot of extra, so we're gonna. So it was they were being spelling police, or somehow the that spelled that way is some sort of offensive word somewhere. I don't know. Don't know why you guys aren't seeing up for, because it's the auto moderators held message for reasons identity says held message for reason identity. Is that like they think it's a version of the N-word? God, I don't know. That's weird. Transport ship engines have advanced. Nice. I don't know. Sometimes I don't understand this stuff. And I could turn off all auto moderation and whatnot, but I just haven't quite thought of going that far. Normally it isn't too bad. Too stupid. Well, if the PC police in Britain knew about you, Exergen, they probably would be after you. At least from what I'm hearing more and more out of Britain. Oh, yeah, okay. They're going nuts over there, in my opinion. But then again, they're allowed to, so whatever. And Army HQ is very nice. Okay, so that we can now... Let's do Battlefield Commander first. And we can have Speer design the Paris exhibition. Or not, but we're going to go there and show off German industry and German style and whatnot. Nothing obvious came up. Good. I think maybe they think it's something to deal with the N-word or something. I don't know. Dual purpose guns. Okay, so that is here. I said on escort, I believe. Do we want to do that? Heavy anti-aircraft guns, 35. Yeah, we'll do that. And we'll get a little better air attack. Okay. Let's see what we can do with trading with the US. They've got lots of money, need supplies. So if I can sell them some supplies. Yeah, that looks like a good amount. Okay, they accepted that. Good. And then we'll use that money to buy from there, and not from here, because we're going to conquer and take Belgium's stuff anyways. Yeah, we may take the Soviet Union's, but that's a longer, harder fight. Medium fuel tank. Guess we're leaving those in research of the naval bomber. We'll get to those. Political feud. Okay. I'm not terribly in favor of these sort of random events like that. That's sort of what I've done, tried to do to some degree with TRE, and that making them based on something historical. Because there were feuds, but let's, you know, a good book on the feuds, at least from one perspective, is Inside the Third Reich by Albert Speer, and I don't remember enough to remember all the alliances going on with all of that, but it is a thing. Okay, who else can we, let's look, who has money? Has money, not Soviet Union. Do you want supplies? You gotta, can we sell you supplies? Oh, very likely. Well, maybe we want to sell you fuel. Let's try fuel first. No. Oh, did it go? No. No. Okay. Supplies, then it is. No, not to the level of being. Oh, wrong way. Wrong way. Okay. We've got massive surplus. So, yeah, let's go sort of big time. We are not a group of people like BS, whatever flavor it is. Yeah, the sort of random events. I don't know that I'm going to get rid of those, though. They are annoying to me, but they're not coming to what I would normally want to do to modifying the base game. Because my original policy was for Black Ice was to stay out of that unless it directly affected what I was trying to do. And again, as you remember, those that were here last week remember how much of a headache I was finding this, trying to keep this in any sort of positive number. Right now, it's there's difficulties, but it's not like can't do it or not couldn't do it, but it's not overmanaged detail. We'll just stop this. We'll try to get back all into at least the brown there, if not the green. I really like to think that what I'm researching or having the research is actually being researched and not more wishful thinking. So we're just stopping these until we get out of that. Okay, and this has been expanded for the Hearts of Iron 4 version. More events later on. Because they built the really nice Garminch Park Shenzhen whatever facility for the Olympics. They kept up annual winter sports competitions, obviously not the Olympics there, and we can see the flags of the participants there. They get fewer and fewer as the war goes on, but so it costs you a little bit of supplies and whatnot, and it's not nearly the tourist attraction that the Winter or the Summer Olympics, let alone the Summer Olympics, is, but it helps a little bit with diplomacy, keeping that sort of going. Yeah, air reset. I'm just sort of used to clearing it out. Habits. Well, at the end of this episode, I'm probably stopping whenever that happens. Soonish, but not right away. Okay, so I just canceled that, I know. Okay, 47. Okay, that gives us a little bit. Why did I cancel that? I don't know. That was stupid. But we are now, I guess, maxed out on cavalry exploitation. Well, we'll do that. And these streams have been longer than normal, partially because I just want to get through and test this. And I'm enjoying playing. Well, I'm enjoying playing. But as you can guess, I played 1936 many, many times. It gets old after a while. And so right now I'm sort of thinking that this is good enough. I still need to mod a little bit more. I'm not sure whether I need to wait a week and do more streaming next weekend before letting Revolver Held really sort of dig in and add his stuff to it. To his mod and whatnot, and see about what's going to be released there. Okay. Well, yeah, I would presume a full play of the game will have Tanganyika in it. That would at least be the plan. Okay, we've sort of maxed out on more or less supplies at the moment. So what we're going to do here is still have a lot of supplies, but there. So this is putting us heavily into production of other things. Now, what are we looking at? Okay, we have plenty of, even if we expand our economy. Coal is will also be expanded. Nope. Oh, let's lock that down for a while there. So now is just how much production we do. Yeah, I expect the full one to have every, and oh, also I am looking for a short at some point, a short multiplayer experiment. Okay, we have high. Somewhere between 3 and 6 people. Though this isn't the full game, it's mostly just people, and I want people who think they have a good internet connection. So Brett, if he's, I don't think he's still around, but if Brett is not really invited to this because I don't want to test China. I want to test how well this plays with multiple people, and that's really what it's about. So you'll just know that it's not going to be a big game. We probably won't even get out of 36, let alone more than a few months into it. But I want some volunteers that want to try to test out once we sort of get the full package done, if you know what I mean by that. Let's do the prototypes here. Light bomber and naval bomber. So I don't know if there's some of you want to try to volunteer. No, I've not tried as the same country. I did try. I did go through, and I'm going to have to sort of relearn some of the process to get this thing going. When I don't have a specific date or day of the week to do this, or time of day yet. We'll still reorganize the war ministry. As you can see, this is now 50-50 chance positive and negative. Before it was mostly likely going to be a negative. Once we get closer to the war and things get a little less, you might, well, if you keep pushing on this, you'll have less chance of having a negative opportunity come out. But I don't really care about not fighting a war, well, because we're not fighting a war. Okay, I will see about that. A minimum up and down speed. Well, I do want a few people from other countries, most assuredly, but what you think you have a fast, good internet connection. I've tried briefly once, and then quite a while ago, somebody else tried to play it, and I think it was his internet connection or maybe his computer speed. It was just like dead crawlingly slow. I mean, dead crawlingly slow. And if I pushed up the speed beyond like 1 chevron here, my game would have to stop because for his game to catch up. So I want somebody who thinks they have a reasonably good internet connection and a reasonably good computer. Like your new computer IKB coming, that would be more than good, but maybe your old one isn't. I don't know. But something like that. Okay, mining, hit the ICs, but that is sort of forever. But that's shifting a lot of emphasis towards resources versus production and supply throughput. But I think we're going to go with mining first, just so that we can get the oil. Coming 10% oil. Energy and metal 10% is nice because we have comfortable there for now, but we're going to continue expanding our economy. So we're going to take the IC hit here. And this is only really now popped up, these events. They should have maybe, is because we are now in we've done the long-term economy thing. So mining, make sure we hit the right one. Yes. A new project. This is a cool down thing that will happen. We'll do railway tycoon next, and finally it will be the agriculture. It's just priorities. No, that's already sort of, yeah, that and other things. Push that up. That's almost up. That's definitely helped. And of course we're using less resources because our effective ICs are lower. Okay, we would give them money for crude oil. Okay, yeah, hold it. Okay, Hydroverk, Pultas AG, part of IG Farben here, synthetic materials. So this is crude, and I know we're setting this, so I don't have to ask you crude and rares. Here in Seton. This is Seton here, so now we don't get any, we are going to be getting oil though. So it's just going to be minimal, but we'll just stick on one of those just to enhance it a little bit. There we are, up to the top. Okay, yeah, with this we'll do this. We'll get a little more crude oil coming in. Although we do want to get up to the multiple thousands. Yeah, well, we know your love of armored trains. Okay, Leuna, Verk, more. Okay, that's in Leipzig. So that there, Leipzig is what, here? No, that's Dresden. There's Leipzig. I was close. We will throw on another one. So you can see there are costs to these events, but these events now, of course, you can cheat and you know, artificially fire events if you get the event number and do that kind of stuff, obviously. But they're meant to be a one-time only event, so that way, oh, we can do another whole one, almost. And so that there are costs to them, so we're not making Germany a superpower, at least I'm trying not to. You know, what's GGA? German graphical or German gameplay augmentations. Yeah, yeah. Okay. Exploratory oil drilling. We can start some exploratory oil drilling. These are the the 4 companies that were involved. They were already producing some oil in Germany. They still are, and I think they could be doing more if they were to do fracking. I don't know if they have started fracking there. But it is not major. We can put 3,300 supplies in to do that, or we want to do more weapons. Here's the hint. They didn't find any more oil. They did more exploratory drilling, but didn't find any more oil. So since you watch some of my stuff, you know not to do that. Unless, of course, you just want to throw away some supplies. Nothing more happens. But yeah. They were not that, and that was specifically exploratory drilling, meaning, hey, there might be oil over there. Let's drill a hole. Well, let's get some oil drilling rigs and, you know, build some more. Let's go see if we can drill some holes around here, see if we find any more oil. They didn't. It's not expanding current oil fields. It was exploratory drilling to try to find new stuff. So that is different than expansion. Okay, and Dusseldorf, 1 crude here coming in, plus as rare materials. Again, rare materials in this is mainly synthetic rubber we're looking at, is what I'm simulating with this. No, it's over here, yes. And we'll throw on a second oil drilling rig, which really just, obviously here is just expanding the, with the cost, but expanding the refinery or liquefaction plant, or however you want to say all that. Okay. Good, positive. Okay, stormtrooper tactics have advanced. Okay, here 26, we'll let that continue. Infiltration tactics, I think that's in the same sort of area, isn't it? Yes, here at 1930, we'll let that continue. Bevo, Brand Fabrik, Elwald, Vorscher, whatever, they're one of the major patch makers for the Third Reich, and if you're going to have a authoritarian state with lots of uniforms, you need lots of badges. So you gain an industrial capacity for a little loss in metal and energy and supplies, and a brief until the 25th, 10 days, 6% hit. Yeah, we'll take that. And I sort of prefer, or greatly prefer, having these type of events come in as opposed to, which isn't bad or isn't wrong, and I don't know which adds more, but I've hopefully disabled and so far haven't been seeing the annual events from Black Ice that represent the 4-year plan as they do it. You know, they just sort of do it big annual events, and they're not wrong. It's just there's more attention to detail. And I don't know which is more historically accurate, as in balanced expansion of industry. Okay, we'll do that. Whether us or whether mine or theirs, but it is a, you know, different approach, less immersion, shall we say? So I like mine better, more immersion. Now, I want to thank you all for watching on YouTube, on Twitch. If anybody there was on Mixer, thank you. And of course, watching later on YouTube, thanks so much. And if you haven't already, please subscribe. You can follow me over on Twitch. I am not sure if we're going forward with this, if I think we will need to do more testing or not, or what we'll be doing next week. As you can tell, we're sort of wrapping this up now. So yeah, I don't know if next week we'll be ready for a quote-unquote real playthrough, or whether we'll be back to Hearts of Iron 4 or some other game, strategy game generally, on Saturdays. Tomorrow we will be doing some, though I think a bit of a shorter, and maybe even starting earlier, I'll see. War Thunder play day. Arno and others want to join us, happy to have you. It's definitely a participation. If there's enough of us, a big bunch of us, we'll play some custom games. If not, we'll just play a few of us regular stuff, hopefully. And Thursday, I think it's Thursday, I'll be streaming for Slytherin, Order of Battle, Red Steel, more of that. And of course, next weekend I was talking about. So yeah, I would appreciate you guys showing up. Any of those things, that would be cool. And so yeah, thanks so much, everyone. Let's